How many videos have you posted before you got that one?
That was my first one.
Respectfully, you, okay? Hey, Dinesh, thanks for joining / jumping on with me, man. Saw you on TikTok, so thanks for being here.
No worries. Appreciate it.
Whereabouts are you based, man? Give us a bit of a rundown. Where are you based? What are you doing now?
Originally, I'm from Auckland. Moved down last year for university. I started a Bachelor of Architecture. At the end of the year, I decided to switch my major to project management. So I'm doing a double major in that. And so I didn't want to do 5 years of architecture. And so I just changed it to a 3-year degree so I can graduate next year and get into the work field.
So what's why did you want to go and do architecture? What's kind of the background behind that?
Growing up, through high school, I always, liked physics and math and chemistry, and I wanted to be an engineer. And then in my last year high school, I just fell out of love with physics and chemistry. And so I thought, architecture is, still going to be creative. You're still going to get to design things. And I like that aspect of it. And, it didn't have as much physics and whatnot. And so I thought, architecture would be a better fit for me personally.
So obviously you enjoy a bit of the construction stuff, and you're still doing the project management and the architecture now, eh?
Yeah. Yep.
What's uni like learning that stuff? I mean, I come from the QS space, so I'll just give you a story and then you can elaborate on your question. But, this lovely lady that follows us on Instagram, she said, "Hey, David, I've been doing a basic entry-level QS degree in Christchurch." And she said she spent the first 4 months learning how to read and justify and do pricing for a geotech report. And I was just like, okay, well, I don't know why they're teaching you that, because the geotech just provides you the report. And then the QS's job is just to put the QS quote for the engineering report into the QS. So why do you need to learn about geotech? Right. So I suppose my statement, and then back to the question, is I just think stuff at university just gets dragged out way too long, and you can learn stuff so much faster. Are you enjoying uni so far?
Yes, I am. There's a certain aspect where, sometimes they teach you stuff that's, common sense, or stuff that you might already know from high school, which gets, I guess, repetitive when you've already learned that and they're trying to teach you the same thing. And then I've also found there's quite a lot of things that, I haven't learned. And it's last year, my first year, I learned quite a lot with coding and creating stuff online. I'd say it's pretty impactful and it's helped quite a bit.
Yeah. So you would say there definitely are parts there that are helping. I mean, I didn't go to university. I didn't do that style of education. And there's probably a lot of stuff that I don't know that I should know. But I suppose now in 2026, if I don't know something, I can get all the information I need within 30 seconds. And that's kind of my thing. What's the university scene like in Wellington at the moment? What's the kind of general consensus on the ground?
At the moment, so they've got the Calburn campus, the Te Aroha one, and I think Pipitea. So it's all split up. I'm finding my way between Calburn for my lectures and more group work. I go to both during the week. It's pretty good if you don't mind walking around, and up the terrace and whatnot.
Yeah, I suppose to dive in on that question more though, what's kind of the general feel with young people at universities at the moment? Are there still a lot of people signing up, going to university? What's the general census in Wellington with it?
For sure, there's definitely still, quite a big amount of people going to university, and obviously they push them to do so because it's more, I guess, safe. It's the safer route. That's what we've all been brought up with.
And, do you think that's true?
I think that's true to a sense that it's something to fall back on. If whatever you go out and do, if you wanted to start a business, if you wanted to work your way up a company, or if you wanted to just anything like that, there's something to fall back on if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I do believe, not everyone has to go to uni, and it's not made for everyone. And there's definitely opportunities outside of university,
Yeah, I would totally agree. And I suppose Wellington's kind of heavily, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not in the university world, but Wellington's heavily architecture, history, kind of that kind of, they do, is there many what other courses, what are the other main kind of courses and degrees in Wellington?
I heard the law schools, I think, ranked the best in the country from last year. Don't quote me on that. It definitely is one of the top ones in the country.
Yeah.
People come here for architecture. I think it's the second best in the country under Auckland.
Yeah.
And people come here for the arts, psychology. And there's quite a range of things that they offer. Yeah.
So how many years in are you now?
I'm going into my second year.
Okay, cool. And I suppose you would, I don't know if you talk to people in the years above and that, but are people are people, worried about not being able to get jobs on the back end of university? Are they worried about getting like placements and work experience? Like are people struggling? Are people getting it? What's the go?
Well, it's funny you asked that because a lot of my tutors last year, they were just about to complete their masters or they had already finished it, and they've not been able to get jobs. Therefore, they're doing the work for the university. And I was like, what's the point of me doing a 5-year degree if I'm not guaranteed a job when I finish, Yeah. And so that's why I'm taking this 3-year degree as opposed to the 5-year one, whereas it's less time studying, and the construction industry is booming much more in comparison to architecture. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I want to go into that again before we talk about your venture, bro, which is the main reason why I reached out to you. But I mean, I just think with with uni, I was posting heaps of stuff on X earlier in the year. I'm literally, the way I promote my business is all through social media. So I mucked around on X for about 3 to 4 months, and it's very heavily like kind of right wing, and the more political and the more, if you get racist on there, you get a following really, really fast.
Right.
Anyway, I was just tampering with like the political route. And as soon as I started mentioning anything about university, the timelines of how when people go in there, they spend 3 to 4 years there and then they come out, the whole economy's changed, AI's come out, jobs are like gone. My biggest thing is it's not the $30,000 to $60,000 you spend, but it's the 3 to 5 years that you could potentially waste. Potentially is the key word there.
Yes.
I'm not going to say not everyone's going to have a job at the back end of uni, but, and this is, and I also want to, make an example, is this like business. You could go to university and study business, or you could start your clean washing business and learn all this shit along the way. Now, you will make a lot of mistakes, but there's so many other ways that you can learn for free and use information for free online to, instead of paying tens of thousands of dollars, but the years,
Oh, I completely agree with you. Like university can do so much for you. Like, yes, it'd be great to graduate your degree and, be able to get a job straight away, but that's not the case. And in the real world, there's people that can't get jobs, and like you said, potentially waste those years as, time. And people don't realize that the most valuable asset is time. Like 3 years is an exponential amount of time to waste if you don't know if you can get a job or not. And so that's why, I thought, starting something on the side is because I've got nothing to lose. I'm still going to do my degree. The construction industry is going well, so I most likely will be able to find a job and I'll learn something from starting business. So
dude, I love that, man. I think that's so cool. And don't get me wrong, like for anyone, people that listen, it's just like, and even if you do go out and start a business, you will waste time doing stuff that doesn't matter. But 100%. You have to try so much stuff. Like I'm probably, on my 4th venture now, and it's like, there's so much stuff that I'm doing at the moment that is, I'm like, okay, cool. It's paying an ROI now, but is it going to move the needle in 3 months? Probably not. But to get to that, you've got to do this, and this. But you learn so many skills along the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing about it.
You can research so much online and, take notes and try and prepare yourself as much as possible. But the best thing to do is, throw yourself in the deep end and learn as you go. So
yeah, I think that's the best way. And especially when your own money's on the line, you learn a hell of a lot quicker, man. So it'd be interesting to know, like, what are universities like with architecture and law? Like, you probably don't know on the law side, but, are professors or people like, I don't want to say warning, but like telling people how fast the world is moving with everything going on? And are they still guaranteeing that people will get jobs and preaching all of that stuff?
Like you said, I don't really know about law and other degrees, but from what I heard from architecture, they don't guarantee that. They're like, you'd have a good opportunity of getting a job. They encourage you to finish your degree and get your master's and whatever is required. You'd have the best shot of getting a job, but they can't guarantee that.
Yeah,
and that's what put me off architecture.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't mean to be a dick, bro, but you're probably spending a lot of time there and money, and you're different from everyone else. Like you're actually, and I'm going to get into this now, but so many other people are going to university just like fingers crossed, I'm going to get a job at the back end of this. Man, and don't get me wrong, the business workplaces, I don't want to say it's competitive. I think it's like there's minimal competition in the space. Like, and you can have a business idea and an offer up and running within 5 working days. And like you could potentially be making money on the 6th. That's why I love it.
I don't know if you have spoken to Max Tebbs, who ran our Clean Car Collective, but he's, I think, my age or just a year older. And to see what he's done with our washing down in Wellington, he's got his own shop in supercars now, like $300,000-$400,000 cars. And he's my age, and he's got like 3 or 4 people working for him. So to just goes to show, like, anything's possible, you know?
Oh, absolutely, man. And there'll always be like a dime a dozen of someone who cracks it a lot faster than everyone else. But I think as long as you put stuff in, and also there's nothing wrong with being self-employed, self-sufficient, and you make $80,000 a year, and you're only working 25 hours a week, and you're not stressed. Like, it's not all about the dollar figure. I think it's just got to be more. People need to look at like what they want to achieve out of a lifestyle, a working life, and can you just support yourself and escape the 9 to 5 thing. You're only working 25 hours a week, and you can go play tennis or do sport or hang out with family. I think that's also the dream as well, and that's what I absolutely love. So dude, tell me about the new gig, man.
So I spent the summer researching something I could start up, on the side to university, and be flexible with my studies, obviously, because that takes up quite a bit of time. So I ended up finalizing it between pressure washing or landscaping, like lawn mowing and hedge trimming and all that kind of stuff. But I just found that pressure washing would be the better fit for me. The returns, the larger exponential growth in terms of like expanding the business and whatnot, and the skills and stuff required to learn. And so I've decided to start a pressure washing business this year and see how it goes.
What was your research process like? How comprehensive was it? What was made up of the research process?
I looked at the cost of each thing. Like, for the lawn care, it might have been like $50 for a small patch of lawn. It might have been $120. And then I looked into the expenses as well of the fuel, the time to go get to the job, like the cost of that.
Nice.
And pressure washing seemed to have like a better return. So I decided to choose that.
So your whole idea purely around what business was, what was the drive? Was it literally how can I make the most money in the shortest amount of time? Obviously you took into maybe what you want to be doing, what your skills are, etc.
Yeah, and I did have a look at the market, like in terms of how many competitors I have, the saturation of Wellington, and there's much more landscaping companies in Wellington than I liked. To see a market gap in the market where I could enter and be different. Saw pressure washing, and there was about 26, like around there, competitors.
So 26 competitors, yeah.
Yeah, and they'd say
how many for landscapers? Sorry to
landscapers was I've forgotten the amount, but it was much more.
It's way more because any builder, I'm from the building industry, can just tap on and do landscaping on their web pages or the landing pages. And also the barrier to entry for landscaping is so damn low. Like in construction, decks and fences is classed as landscaping, and it's the most competitive, cheapest, like low-balling rate place in the market. So good choice.
I found about 26, and then it's like they say online that the best chances of having a successful business is if you can at least acquire like around 10,000 customers, or like look to have that many. And so what New Zealand, Wellington's population is 560,000. So if you divide that by 26, it's more than 10,000 customers. So
so you just looked at total amount of dwellings in Wellington, and with pressure washing, what's that part of the business made up of? Like, what's kind of your services or your scope?
Okay, so the backbone's obviously the water blaster, and then I've got a surface cleaner, which cleans like the driveways and whatnot, the bigger surface areas. And I've got chlorine and some surfactant, which I mix the two together, and that becomes my concentrated chemical that I spray before I'm going to be pressure washing. And that reduces the chances of mold growing back for like, let's say 12 months, 8 to 12 months.
So how long did all this research take you to do all that? I mean, that's quite good that you know all that stuff, straight away.
Yeah, I spent 2-3 months, so the summer.
Good stuff. Yeah, and is that part of your sales pitch to homeowners as well? You tell them all of this?
I definitely tell them about the concentrated chemical, about like it reduces the chances of the mold and grime coming back, because they don't obviously know that, and it can also damage like the mold and grime on their like property or concrete can damage the material long term. So that's definitely a selling point.
Have you had any customers say, "Oh wow, you seem very knowledgeable," or "I didn't know that"?
No, not yet. Actually, I haven't got my first sale. Or you haven't
yet?
No, but I have been like delivering flyers, and I have been practicing on our family and friends' areas.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Nice. So how are you working out your pricing model at the moment?
So I was going to go off a price per square meter. So
Cool.
I'm still currently researching that, but I
Yeah.
want to be like, super sure that I'm not overcharging or underselling my skill set. So
Yeah.
I'm
What's
still
been your what's been your research to find that out so far?
other pressure washing companies in New Zealand, and
Cool.
then I'll dive deeper into Wellington's. I'll like, ask for quotes, people up and, compare. And then I've also seen like there's some large followings on TikTok from people in Australia that offer the, pressure washing, and they've got
Yeah.
quite a lot of good information on there as well. So
That's good. I would just recommend, and just like, you just want to do 10 jobs for first as cheap as you can. Don't worry about making money, cover costs, and just literally get Google reviews, manage how long it takes you to do the job, how long it takes you to drive, how much fuel you spent. You've probably done all this. But the first thing is just like reps in the bank, getting on the like time in the saddle. So that's like all you need to be doing to get your first lot of customers there. So that'd be good.
I've just posted some flyers, well, not flyers, but like an ad of myself in all the local Wellington community groups. So hopefully I'll get something from it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
When did you do that?
I just did that this evening.
Nice, bro. That's good, man. I tell everyone that's just trying to pick up extra business, like, use community groups. Like, there's so many like mums and dads and Jack and Jules sitting on those things all day, bloody arguing in the comments. And it's like most of them will be homeowners and ratepayers. So they'll be looking for someone that they can use for their services. So how much money have you invested into the business right now?
I'd say between $2,500 and $3,000.
Yeah, cool, man. And when you first started in your research, what was your predictions to get your first sale?
I actually didn't predict that. I'd say a month.
A month. And how far in are you now?
I think a week and a half.
Okay, cool. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your reasoning for jumping in on TikTok? Because obviously I saw your video on TikTok and I was like, man, I love seeing young people have a crack at stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So have you always been like, and don't take this the bad way, but you seem quite like an introverted style person? Is that right or no?
Sometimes it depends, like, how close you are to me. Yeah, I chose to post on TikTok because I know it's like one of the best platforms for gaining exposure. If you can find the natural growth that TikTok can provide for your like post, if you can find something that's going to go viral, it will help, and it will be the best way to gain exposure and put yourself out there.
How has that first post gone for you so far? That's
that went viral. I think it's got over 100,000 views, and that was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many videos have you posted before you got that one?
That was my first one.
Bro.
Yeah.
Respectfully, you, okay? Dude, when I started Rapid QS, I probably posted 250, 300 videos before. And okay, so I was kind of getting jobs within the first week of posting, but I was only getting 100 views a video. And then as soon as I went slightly started being quite controversial, that's when I got my first 100K video. And then the algorithm is the most cruelest thing. I did this basic re-roof green screen takeoff. So I had this picture of the shitty roof behind me with measurements, and I was talking about how I broke it down and how many labor hours, materials. And then over literally the next day, I had 250,000 views on that video. And my inbox, I had about 50 jobs sitting in my inbox. And then that video now on Instagram is at I think just under 1 million views, and on TikTok it's around about 600,000. But it still brings in leads every day, every couple of days.
Definitely.
But yeah, my point of this is it took me about 300 videos to get one that went viral. So nice job, man.
Yeah, I did a bit of research about how to potentially blow up a video, and I just know that no one's gonna want to see a video of me posting a transformation. They're gonna want to see your face, they want to see your story, and they want to be able to relate to you. And so that's what I thought the first video should incorporate, and it worked out. So it's good. Great.
Yeah, nice stuff, man. So what's been the general consensus off that one video so far? You must have felt a bit of a dopamine hit off that, surely.
Oh, for sure, I definitely did. There's a lot of support. There's a few people that reckon that it's not possible to do alongside university and whatnot, but just gotta take that conversation. So
More haters, bro. Use that as a just sit back and watch, baby. Get the popcorn out. And that's why I got a lot of respect for you, man, and especially young people that have a crack at stuff. Is just it's too easy in life to sit on the sidelines and be like a spectator from the side. But people that are actually willing to put their balls on the line and their money on the line, that's where I've really got a thing for those kind of people. So I think it's awesome, man. What did your parents say?
My parents know I've been, ambitious from a young age because back in 2020 I started this shoe business. I used to resell high-end Jordans, high-end shoes. I grew that Instagram page to about 10,000 followers. I think I sold over 400 pairs in 2 or 3 years, and unfortunately it just didn't go well after the recession in like 2023ish, 2024. So
were you just selling in New Zealand?
Yeah, I was just selling in New Zealand.
Yeah, and you just noticed like the last couple of years it just died off drastically. Yeah,
and just Nike, reproducing a lot of and like re-releasing a lot of older shoes, and it's just fluctuated the market.
So how did that work? Where were you buying the shoes from? How was that process?
I was getting them from like Foot Locker, just retail stores, Foot Locker, JD Sports, Nike, all those. I was able to get them on release day because I was in this group that allowed me to have all the information that the public wouldn't have, and so I was able to get there first before everyone else.
And then you were just reselling just on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram. I had a website, I had a TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, dude, so this is like, how many gigs in are you now? Is this your second gig?
It's my second proper gig. Yeah.
Did you obviously reinvest funds from the first gig into this to get going? Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Sweet, man. And have you had many friends or other people reach out and say, "Hey, bro, if you get busy, I'll come work for you"?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I was gonna say, man, because if you I just reckon off your first TikTok, that's gonna get you a little bit of clout, and that will be really, really good for getting customers as well. Have you had any direct business from that yet?
No, I've had maybe 5 or 6 people say I'd really like to help you out. Can I get a quote? And they just haven't got back to me.
Bro, the quote game. One thing I will say is take every single person's piece of information, grab anyone that inquires, quotes, invoice, whatever it is, get their name, mobile number, email, CRM tool, and I'm sure you know this, retarget with email marketing, man. The beautiful thing about pressure washing is it's a reoccurring type of business model.
It is.
With the building model I had, it was kind of like a one and done. You know what I mean? You go do an extension for Jack and Jill, and they're not going to spend another $100,000 again. Yeah. So it was very hard. I'm sure you're all over that, eh?
Yeah. What kind of software or app did you use for your marketing emails?
I'm on Go High Level for everything. Okay. What are you using?
I haven't set up any of that yet. I was just trying to get myself out there first.
Worry about the business first. Don't worry about any fancy apps until you've got money coming in. Money in before money out is the number one rule. I'm sure you know. But literally, spreadsheet, man. Just put everything on a spreadsheet. And all I do now at the moment with Go High Level is just it's got your whole database, and you can set up smart lists for email retargeting. So we can have our list split in between UK, NZ, Aussie. And then you can put it into customers that have purchased, customers that have never purchased, customers that have inquired but never went ahead. And then obviously you can use AI and your skills to figure out your email marketing message to each type of potential customer, Yeah, but key number one rule, man, is inputs, money in before money out. So have you got any other friends that are self-employed or doing their own thing?
There's 2 mates of mine that I went to school with. They run a car detailing business up in Auckland. Cool. They're pretty well for themselves as well. The reason why I asked that is it's real important for you to just keep in touch with those people that are in the same game, because most people at university won't relate to what you're trying to do. And the other reason why I don't know, Auckland hasn't been the place for me is I've struggled a little bit just finding more people like myself doing things, etc., etc. My favorite place in Zadar, Croatia, I play tennis with this German econ guy that does 50 million euro a year in turnover. And I call bullshit until he turns up to the tennis club every other day in a different supercar. And then when we were doing a change of ends, I was like, dude, you got to show me what you do. And he just showed me his Stripe account for the day, and it was at 170,000 euros. So I was just like, now, I'm not saying those people aren't in New Zealand. Of course there are, but there's just a different level of people doing stuff, So my thing to you would be get around as many of those people in New Zealand as you can. And I'm sure your TikTok will attract those kind of people as well.
you know. So what's the when are you hoping to get your first sale, man?
So ideally this week or next
Yeah.
week. I know I know Facebook's really good for, you know, people that are older than us, and I'm just really trying to target them because they're homeowners, and obviously the people my age aren't. So
Yeah, I was going to say, like, obviously money in before money out, but as soon as you get money from a job, I would just reinvest that purely into 3 different like Facebook ads, like a static ad, a video call out, and maybe something like, I don't know, you could probably almost put your TikTok video onto Facebook with a small ad spend behind it, like $10 a day or something. And you could split test those 3 posts over the course of 7 days, and Meta will literally tell you which one performs the best, you know?
Yeah, that was my idea. I wanted to test trial 3 of them, and, you know, because you don't learn anything or know anything unless you try, you know, different variations of it. So I was going to definitely do that, try 3 different ones and see how it's going to go.
Absolutely, man. Where are you learning everything at the moment? Like, where's your place of information?
TikTok and just like Google, YouTube.
Cool. Yeah, it's crazy that people go to university to learn a marketing degree, eh?
Yeah, sure.
But you're just getting it off TikTok and getting 100,000 views. And that's probably more than any professor at university's ever gotten for a business, FYI. So just remember that, eh?
Cheers.
Hey, thanks for jumping on. Sorry for being a bit late. Keep in touch with me, and just any tips or tricks or anything you want, let me know.
Cheers. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Nah, cool, man. Thanks for reaching out. And I was just, just real impressed, man. So I'll be following what you do.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Easy, bro. I'll chat to you later, and thanks for jumping on.